Hello guys, Maureen Coach here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can write a good CV to earn you that particular job that you want. And yeah, it's a CV or a resume. So you may be there and wondering, how can I do this thing? Well, I got you covered. Let's get started. So essentially, a CV should provide an overview of your qualifications, including your relevant work experience, your skills. And here we have a template, which as you can see from it, it has, this is where your contact information should go. That is your name, your email, phone number, city, state, portfolio, or social media account. That is your preferred social media account. And here I prefer you using a very professional account in which, for example, you can use your LinkedIn social media account here so that if your recruiter is going to click on it, it's going to portray some of the work that you've essentially done before. Yeah. So this is your contact information at the top of the application here. And then next we have the summary. In your summary, I would prefer you using bulletins to make it easier for the employer to actually go through it. Writing and putting a lot of information here can also confuse someone who's going to view your application. So essentially use bullets, and you can only highlight 3 keywords here so that it can write about your summary. So you can write your hard skills and soft skills. And then next you have your education section. Here below it, you can write the institution in which you studied, in which city and country. Here. So institution, city, and country where you studied, and the year. Essentially, it's going to come here. So for example, if you studied, let's say Technical University of Mombasa. Yeah, city, it is in Mombasa. And then the country, Kenya. Yeah. And then you should go at the far end year, you state which year, let's say, for example, 2012 to 2016, right? Then below, you're going to write your certification and the course. So let's say it was a degree. So you say Bachelor of Arts, say Media and Communications. Yeah, then you can go on and add other relevant education experience here. Yeah. Then next we have your work experience. Your work experience. Here in this section, you're going to input all your work, where you have worked, and particularly all your work experience here. And you're going to write your company, the company in which you worked, and the role. And then at the farthest end, you're going to write starting from which year to which year. So particularly here, maybe you've worked, let's say at company XYZ, and then you're going to write the role, let's say, as a social media marketer. Social media, let's say manager, right? Then you're going to write from which year did you work in that particular company. Let's say from 2013 to, 2013 to, 2016 to 2018. Yeah. And then here below it, you're going to use bulletins, write the skills that you made use of in this particular company, or what actually did you do in this particular company. For example, you managed to increase social media following from 10% to 50% in a span of 1 year. So essentially what I mean is here under your work experience, so you're not supposed to just be highlighting here, social media manager, social media marketer, I don't know, calendar manager. No, you're supposed to write essentially what you did here to show that you add value in that particular company. So here you have your skills. Should be able to highlight, use bulletins to highlight your key skills. Let's say communication, and then social media management. At least highlight your top 3 skills. Next, we have interests. What are your interests? Also use bulletins to write your interests here. So you can use bulletins, at least highlight 3 of your interests. Next, we have, you can finish up by including your language here. The languages you are proficient in, let's say Swahili, English, and include the level, let's say fluent. And then here, maybe for Swahili, you can just write maybe which is your native language. Yeah, and that's it, guys. So particularly here, name, your contact information, then below it, you have your summary, then education, and then you go to education, then your work experience, skills, interests, and language. But particularly what I want to highlight is here at the top, right? Here at the top. What I want to stress here, at the top of your page, avoid writing important information at your header. It should be this contact information, for example, here, should be at the bottom of your header. Your header is here up. So this information should be here below it, so that in the real world, actually right now, when people are applying for jobs, various people are applying for the same position. So many companies nowadays are using what is called ATS, that is application tracking system. And if you have written this important information here at your header, it's not going to reflect when going through that system. That means this important information, your name, your contact details, it's not going to be visible. It's just, and that is one way of you getting out of that system. You're going to be thrown out because, you know, various applications are being done in a day. And if your application fails to go through the ATS of that particular company, that means you're not going to go to the next step. You will just be thrown. That's why most of the people complain of them not getting feedbacks, maybe after sending your CVs. Maybe it's because your CV at this particular point, that is the first thing that companies do, especially those using ATS. This is the application tracking system. If your application fails to go through ATS in the first place, then that means you're not going to go to the next step of where the recruiter is going to review your application. And that will be the end of you. That is how a CV is structured. Now I want to talk about the ATS, that is the application tracking system, because this is an important tool that nowadays most of the recruiters are using, especially to filter people out when making applications. So if your application fails to go through the ATS system in the first step, that is the first step of you being thrown out of that particular process. That is that particular recruitment process. So I will show you how I'm going to share to you some of the things that you can actually ensure in your paper so that your application is able to actually go through the ATS. The first thing is, do not add graphics to your application. Images, graphics, That is one way of being thrown out of the ATS. Yeah. So you should not use graphics or images in your CV. The next thing is use of keywords. You should use keywords. Avoid using buzzwords such as I am proactive, I am a good time manager. No, you should particularly maybe highlight your soft skills and hard skills. Another thing is to simple bullet points. As I have shown you in the CV structure, you should actually make most use of the bulletins. It is easy because if you have a very compact CV, your recruiter is even going to get tired reading it. So by using the bulletins, you're going to make their work easier and they're easily going to go through your application letter. Another thing is by using simple fonts and formats. Do not use very complex formats or font sizes or font styles. It's going to actually look unprofessional and, an overly decorative CV. It's not going to look very professional. Another thing is use clear job seeking language. Use words like work experience, as you have seen in my structured CV template. So those are some of the tips that you can actually make use of to ensure that your application is able to go through the application tracking system well and easily. So that is the first step of going through that recruitment process. So guys, I hope that has been helpful. See you next in my next video. Bye.